continued making maps for 17, and admittedly from the maps he made in 17 they were graphically better than any map I've come across on 19, except for maybe Tazika Mapper. That was really well done. Actually there's a couple of other ones as well. Whether or not he'll bring out Culver Park Farm. Be interesting, maybe a bit of a sore point for him, since I believe his family no longer runs that farm.
At the end of the day, the safe bet is time should tell.
No, he was still pumping out. Still pumping out maps. He releases his ones on Simply Safe Mods. The reason I didn't put him into Frifgar's Discord is because, well, actually there was a few 17 mods released on there, but purely because most of the people were playing 19 anyway in Frifgar. So I didn't see the point of adding 17 maps, especially when that whole category is to do with FS19. Now it's to do with both. Slowly we'll wean that out, but obviously there's going to be people that will still play 19 for a bit until they can afford 22. We'll see how it comes out. Yeah, no, David, because people wanted his maps and Bullet Bill didn't want to do it, so David asked if it was okay, because they're all part of the same modding group, Frontier, whatever it is. And he said, yeah, no, if you want to do it, go for it. But no, he's released one or two maps on 17 over the last couple of years. Really nice maps. But he didn't want to do it because he couldn't do what he wanted to do. And I think I understand that. I mean, he was throwing up screenshots of the first map he released for 17, and like I said, the graphics on that map was way better. It was way better looking than anything on 19. Way better, graphically, on the old graphical engine, Giants engine. So, and then when Oxygen David brought out his first map for 19, it just didn't feel like an Oxygen David map at all. And we played that on Frifgar, or Frifgar played it, maybe he played on it by himself. No, he did. But I even looked at it myself, and it was just, it wasn't like his, didn't have the feel or look as it did in 15 and 17. Mind you, the little bit I played on the one we were doing before it kept shutting my PC down. What's it called again? Challenging Valley. Had the look and feel of the 15 and 17 ones. I will say that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I assume we will get this thing back, because that's done by the modder that also does the other AI helper thing that Frifgar uses all the time, AI extensions. I assume that he will be doing that as well and doing this. I'm pretty sure GTX will do a lot. Because we'll have the global company as usual. I just hope I have the enhanced vehicle thing, which is at the bottom right, which gives us the readouts by the speedometer there with the header and the harvester's wear and tear. Though I see there's a mod on the mod hub that'll do that now, and a better readout too, some percentage. starting from 100% working its way down instead of this that does the opposite. Hello ads. I'm just waiting for the ads to finish. So yeah, hopefully we get this one at the bottom right there with the four-wheel drive and the diff lock option and a few other bits and pieces. I need my shuttle control. Guessing Courseplay and Auto Drive will definitely be coming back unless Giants have actually implemented a better system for the AI with programmable options. Hopefully with the ability to tell your worker from your yard to drive to a field and start doing the work. They managed to have that. Well, they in cattle and crops, you were able to drive to the field from the farm, tell it to drive your AI to the field. I don't know if it automatically did the work because I played that for about 10 minutes and got my money back. I didn't really like it. And I suppose the other interesting thing too is the same would happen with this, with the new engine and features, is what new mods we're going to see that we never saw before. But only time will tell. We have to wait and see. First things first though, we've got to see what 22 is like. Is it worth it? Have they done better? Have they actually for the first time ever done a huge upgrade that is really, really noticeable? I mean, the majority of the game, and it always be, and people moan about it, and I don't know why, it's a farming simulator game. 90% of the game is going to be exactly like 90% of the previous versions. There's not much you can do, it's farming. So I don't know why they expect a huge change. There's just some things they can do better or add in.
Oh, what's got me curious is, so how's the pallet material handling been adjusted, tweaked, fixed, touched, if at all?
Yeah, but that's something else we've got to wait for, right?
That's what these content creators have the advantage for the ones that get blessed with early copies, is the fact that they can sit down and demonstrate and can make these comparisons for, you know, minor things.
Yeah, but it depends who you watch. Really, isn't it? Because you're going to have those ones that are the fanboys and the ones that are worried that if they say something bad, they won't get a free copy. Like they did when they had a couple of streamers with Giants last time. At the beginning, when this first came out, and they were sitting there and things were going wrong, and they didn't say a thing about it. They acted like nothing would happen. Which is absolutely stupid, because it gives you the indication that Giants don't care, and you can't really trust the word of those content creators. When they go off and try and hype something up, you can't sit there and go, well, are you saying that because you want your free copy and or lose your free copy? of the next farming sim game or not? No, you're kidding me. So it picked up. Okay. Alright. I might be eating my words here, even though I didn't really spit them out, but is it because my pipe wasn't out? I tell you what, auto driver, if you correct yourself, you're a legend. But you were looking good for a second there, bud. Was it too difficult for you? You decided to go home?
I'll say a joke answer is you're too close to the edge of the field. Hasn't got room to manoeuvre. I've really got to break the habit of always starting my sentences with, I was just going to say. I'm noticing I do it a lot.
I was just going to say that. I guess Giants have gone back and changed some of the graphics for 22 after. Yeah, it's quite possible though, Mike, that what they've done is updated the graphics to how they wanted 19 to be. Now that they've got the time to do it. So, like I said, I mean, everyone who plays this game knows damn well when it came out there was issues, there was problems, people moaning about it, people didn't like it, people stayed with 17, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, there was issues, there was problems, silly little things. I mean, they've always had bugs in that when it comes out, but this time they were just things that shouldn't have happened. Having like the big M not being able to be filled up with fuel, that's something that should never have happened. That's an oversight that should never be overseen. It's very simple. We've made the big M. Does it work? Yes. Can we fill it with fuel? No. Oh, let's fix that. It's a simple thing to do. That's why they have testers to do that. And it's a simple, you've got to check to make sure that everything it's designed to do works. They know what it was supposed to do, so they have no excuse of missing that one. Then there was bugs that came out that you got in previous versions and they fixed. Once they fixed it in previous versions, there should be no reason for it to return again. So, and it really didn't meet up the step up of the quality. I mean, a lot of people reckon, oh, the graphics change wasn't that much. And that, I'm included in that. It was only when I went back to 17 I did see there was a huge change in graphics. There was. Difference. But now, understanding and what's been going on with the publishers and that, and they got rid of them, is that they're sitting on crabs here. That clearly they were under the pump because of the contract, and the publishers had a lot to say, and they had to put out a product that Giants probably knew wasn't ready to be put out either. And I think a good indication of that is the fact that they announced that they wouldn't be releasing the next version of this game until after the next gen consoles came out. And the next gen consoles came and went for a long time before we got an announcement of the new version of this. And not only that, they would have had the coding, access to the coding for the new consoles way before they were released anyway. So they had ample of time, and this game theoretically the next version should have been out a lot earlier. But the fact is that they've held it back and been released such a long time after the consoles have been released, means that they've really taken the time, I think, and hopefully I'm proven right by the release of it and what's going on, taken the time to really get in and do what they want to do without having the pressure of the publisher breathing down their necks. So I think the graphic update is probably the graphic update they wanted to do for 19, maybe even a bit more, because we've obviously got the 30 series come out and all our ray technology. Not that I think that's coming out with ray tracing or anything, but it's not ray tracing that's the greatest thing about these new cards. It's the DLSS. That's the best thing about these new cards. I think, do the 20 series have the DLSS? I'm not sure. But ray tracing can go, take a flying leap for all I care. It's actually bizarre to get used to. If you've never played with ray tracing, a game with ray tracing, and you have it on, it's a blooming bizarre thing to get used to for a start. But it's also causing a lot of issues with people in games. But however, the DLSS, which replaces, what does it replace?
ALSA, or just anti-aliasing.
Yeah. The graphic quality with that on is immense, so hopefully it comes out with that. Yeah. I think with the next gen they're at a better stead, but yeah. It is a shame. I mean, a lot of it at the beginning was because Sony and Microsoft money grabbing in that instance, so they got to pay. PC people do mods that don't have to pay, right? If you want to put a mod or anything else on like that, you've got to pay on the console. I don't know if that's still the case. You're limited by the fact of hardware components. So that's all sort of changed with the next gen. It'd be really, really nice if PC players and console players have access to the same mods. But the fact of the matter is, with the PC, you're always, until such time, for the moment, will always have the ability to have a better mod because of the processing power a PC provides. The consoles originally was a cheap gaming option for people who couldn't afford PCs, and it is expensive to get a decent gaming PC. But saying that, graphically, not really much difference, right? Well, it's not a huge hindrance, you know. Yeah, you can get some amazing graphics with PC, but it's really not a game changer. It's just a look changer of the game. It doesn't change the way you play your game, and everything's fine on the consoles. I had a PS3 for ages, and I couldn't afford a PC at the time. And when I did and went and played games that I had on the PlayStation, it was even with the quality, it was still the same to me. But then again, Sony came out with the PS3, came out with some amazing graphical games that, for their own titles, like Heavy Rain. The Last of Us, even now, every time a new gen comes out, they remaster The Last of Us, and it's still amazing graphic. Equal to like some of the best you can get on PC. And I've heard rumours that it might be coming to PC, The Last of Us. They've released a few Sony-owned games like Heavy Rain, which was a brilliant game. You can get that on PC now, and a few other ones, and hopefully The Last of Us is going to be one of them, and I heard rumours that it is, and hopefully The Last of Us 2, because I'd love to play that. The Last of Us is one of my all-time favourite games I've ever played, and I'd love to play that again. I'd love to play it on the PC. And because of that, I really want to play The Last of Us 2, but I can't afford a PlayStation. It was either a PC or a PlayStation, a PC one, because I literally will always choose a PC over a console any day at the moment. Times might change. I doubt it though, because you've got more leeway and options with building a PC, where a console, this is the size of it, this is what we can fit in it, and this is the best technology we can put into it at the moment. And they've all got to be the same. And the PC gives you the option not to be.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the next Forza Motorsport. The new Horizon that's coming out later in November, I'm like, yeah, I could take it or leave it. Not massively into it, but I'll tell you, if Gran Turismo decided to stop being a PlayStation exclusive and came to PC, I'd be on that. Be on that one like flies on cake. Although I do prefer the feel of Forza over Gran Turismo, but they're both, you know, premieres of examples of their titles.
No, there's on the console thing there, Mike, about license agreements. It's totally different because Microsoft owns and Sony owns all the licenses to do and the products that go into them. Basically, they pay for that privilege. Where PC, it's totally different. Not one person can, you know, pull out the license because it's made from many different components. Basically, like with well, PCI, I don't know. Originally PCI, and this is the reason why what they call the IBM computers, which is the original ones, which is the ones we know as PCs today, compared to the Apple ones. The reason why PC ones became more popular is because Apple computers back in the day were made with brilliant components, and they had SCSI, which only recently PCs have now. We just had old IDE, and SCSI was a better setup for hard drive communication than IDE was and everything else like that. But the problem was the Apple ones, they were more expensive because they had better components, and they owned the license to everything. Now PCI, when that came out, PCIe, well, PCI and PCIe is a standard that was developed by Hewlett-Packard, and they didn't charge anyone for it. It was an open standard, so you didn't have that extra cost put onto your buying of the PC, and a lot of that stuff was like that, hence the reason why PC was cheaper to buy. So a lot of these things are still standardized. Then you do have people that own certain licenses to do, like originally Sound Blaster was one of the best audios because they hammered down the codecs and everything at the beginning, and people, if they wanted to use it exactly, had to pay, so they got around that by being a bit different. Why did... bloody bots, I'll tell you what, stupid things that get on my nerves sometimes. There's no way it should have done that. And I've looked it up, there's nothing I can do about it deleting all the previous one. No, it's just I don't know why Streamlabs did that. It's stupid, mate. It's stupid it did that, it's stupid it deletes the thing. Like I said, apparently you can't stop it from deleting all the comments. So I don't know why the bot did that. There's nothing, not that I can see all the lines through it, but there's obviously nothing in there for the bot to have hit you like that. And it was Streamlabs of all blooming things.
And the closest I can think of is where he said she space T was. Must have missed up that as a trying to bypass. Because you know, that's how flexible some of the word filters can get.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible, but still, SEH, not... That's still stupid blooming thing. Yeah, well, well, you probably typed that in before we just said it, so you've heard what we said. The best I can say is I was trying to think you were getting around the word shit. But instead of, you put S-H-E, it's she, space T, and if the bot can't figure out that she's a word, and then there was a space in it, there's nothing in there. Oh, the bots get on my nerves. They really do. It's just...
Yeah, it may not be what triggered it, but that's just what I'm looking at and going, well, that's a possibility, but...
Well, it's one that makes most sense, because there's nothing else there at all. Because it's the bad language part of it that picked it up. And there's no other bad language in there. So don't worry about it, Mike. I mean, they do their job occasionally, but boy, when they screw up, they really screw up. And like I said, I mean, even when they do pick people out for something that's not allowed, the fact that it doesn't just delete that post, it wants to delete all the posts that person's put in, really gets on my nerve. And like I said, I've looked it up and everything like that, and apparently you can't do anything about it, which is stupid, because obviously people would be complaining about this, unless there's other bots I can use, possibly. I have to have a look into it. Oh, okay, you come in the pic. But I'll come to you. You stay right there, buddy. Don't run. Relax. Yeah, you dance around the issue. So
yeah, I missed that bit this morning. I was asleep. I woke up and I'm like, okay, something's going on.
do you know what it's about, Mike? What happened? Yeah, because I woke up with that as well. I had 22 pings and there was there was nothing there until I went into the channels for the admins and moderators and saw what happened. And it caused a few people to leave, but I already discussed how silly that is. Some people just, yeah. And it wasn't the bot that pinged you either. If you remember the other day, Panda put in a thing, a reminder about a warning about a hack thing going around to do with Nitro and Discord. Well, one of the people in Fritcord got hit, obviously got hacked, and yeah, it was doing its thing. And unfortunately he got banned. I mean, he's quite welcome to come back when he sorts his account out. He or she. Which is really weird because we already had one of the moderators say something, posted a screenshot, and that was it, and I had no clue what it was about. I went, oh, okay, alright, I don't know why you're posting that, and I'll just leave it. But yeah, a little bit more explanation to it, I would have taken notice. Oh, because at the screenshot of a message of some sort, it didn't look like it was like on the server. It said they had one server in common, which was Fritcord, and yeah, I just went okay. But I didn't realise that the person actually was a member of Fritcord, because we don't, just because we're admins and moderate, well, just because we're admins, because this is a moderator that told us that, doesn't mean we know everyone, the name of everyone in Fritcord. And we don't. There are so many people in there. And most of them come in and join and don't say anything anyway. It's the people that talk regularly, the ones I know. But yeah, apparently it was posting in every single channel.
Or at least in every single channel where someone can freely type something.
Yeah, so I've got to look at that. I'm pretty sure the permissions for people that are not moderator or below moderators shouldn't be able to at anyone or do any mentions. And that could be the only way that they got pinged. Right, I'm going to get to the end of this row here and we're going to end the stream. I'll let Patrio say his goodbyes to you.
I suppose I should be thanking everyone for keeping us company and all that, despite me usually hiding in a corner as per usual. I would say I'm back whenever, because I got this entire week off work, but it'll probably be the usual Sunday, Monday again. And we shall most likely catch us all when we next do.
I hope it's a Sunday, Monday, because that's what I've got it down expecting. Talked about it last week, but yeah, no, we should be back next Sunday, same day, Sunday, Monday next week. Hopefully, if it isn't, if for some reason Patreon needs to change the days, I of course will adjust the schedule for it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for this week as far as the farming sim is concerned. Well, sort of this week. We'll be back on Sunday, like I said, anyway. A big thank you to Mike keeping us company in chat. Yeah, huge thank you to the bot for being an idiot. What else is there? I hope you all enjoyed the problem solving that we went through. Just, you know, give a little bit of variety in the stream today. Yeah, because we haven't had that in the last 2 weeks. Issues. Admittedly, so far so good. I suppose we haven't had the PC shut down. As I say that, and the PC will probably shut down. Anyway, I shall be back tomorrow with a brand new game called Transocean, the shipping company. Hopefully you can come along and keep me company there. If you haven't seen the game before, please come along, have a look. It's an old game. I should actually look up when it was released, but it's still a great game. It's a great game to play, great game to watch, good story to it. A lot of fun, something about it. It doesn't look like it is, but there's just something about the game. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow, Tuesday for me, and Thursday as well. Of course, Wednesday's my day off, but there's always a possibility I might sneak a stream in depending how I feel. We've got Friday and Saturday. Friday's ETS, Saturday's ATS, the competition between the both. ATS is in the lead, but I think ETS is catching up. Not that far behind anymore. So yeah, and then back to this on Sunday and Monday. Anyway, a big thank you to everyone who's come along and watched, whether you've been and gone, still here, or watching after the fact on either the Twitch VOD and the big long full version VOD, or in the nice little bite-size takeaway snack packs that I do for the YouTube edit, where I cut these up into 35-minute episodes and we'll chuck them on up onto YouTube a week later. It gives you a choice. You can either watch them in small bits, or you can watch the whole thing and then get lost where you're up to because someone called you over and PC shut down, the browser forgot where you are and all that kind of stuff. The choice is yours. Choice is what I'm about. So if you want the YouTube one idea on a stream that you've missed out and want to catch up on, there's a link in my about page, or you can type in !YouTube into chat. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. Hopefully we'll see you guys in the next stream. If we don't, we'll see you when we do. Until then, guys, take it easy, look after yourselves, have a great one, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.